What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of the Roundtable. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about hardware recommendations, what you could be using to improve your streams, such as cameras, what you could use to hear a little bit better in some games, even make your voice sound a little bit better, such as microphones, and some other little cool gadgets that Bubs has used, such as USB hubs and some other little funky things like that. So let's get right into it and talk a little bit about it. So first off and foremost, obviously everyone wants to get into it and talk a little bit about how do you make yourself look really good. And I think Bubs should start it off because he has a really good camera, and then we'll kind of get a little bit into a little bit of my stuff and talk a little bit about Logitech stuff as well. So let's go over to Bubs.
What's going on, everybody? Alrighty, I've experimented around with a couple different kind of cameras over the last year and a bit here, and of course before that I've used multiple different kinds of cameras. Just generic webcams, they work perfectly fine. I know Shade's probably used his share of them as well over the years. Yeah. My main streaming stuff I started though is actually a cam that I want to recommend. There's a lot more after it, but it's kind of like the predecessor to them. But the C920 by Logitech, it's a decent price, decent quality. It's 720p. I'm not going to go into all the crazy specs, but that's a really good place to start. The C920, the 922, the Brio, the Stream Cam, they're kind of their next gens, I guess you could call them. After. Which one do you think you preferred, or would you recommend first to your Shade?
So if you're starting off, obviously, if you're starting off basic budget, don't go overboard. I would say if you're going for 60 FPS, well, let's put it that everyone aims for 60 FPS. Go with the 922. The 920 is great. You're going to get good quality out of it. Just to put it out there, 720p 30, that's what you're going to get. 922 will give you 720p 60.
Right.
That's pretty much, that's the gist of it. Step up from there, you can go to the Brio. Stream Cam just came out. We don't know too much about it. It's great quality for picture quality. In terms of what else it can do, I don't know too much about it. Step up from there, you go DSLR and Brios. It gets very expensive. It gets very convoluted in terms of lenses and other stuff that you need, such as...
And even just like proper cams that will or won't work for streaming, whether you'll need some separate hardware, like a capture device, stuff like that. That is going to be, let's call our stage 2 right now. I think we just want to stay on stage 1 if you're just getting started. Which is all the ones that we've just mentioned. But yeah, DSLR is going to be kind of your next step. So if you feel that you're having a lot of fun and you have a little bit of extra cash and you want to put into it, do a lot of research on which ones can work. Go around, check underneath people's panels and see which ones they use. A lot of guys have which hardware they use. And, there's I think it's a Sony A600 or something. It's been a very popular choice lately. Yeah, very popular choice for a lot of streamers I've seen as well. I went with a Canon. It doesn't matter which one you go with. Just make sure you find one that'll work. But don't just buy one because they don't all work plug and play. So keep that in mind.
And real quick, the caveat on the camera before we move on to the next topic on it. Green screen wise, just to hit on that real quick, if that's something you do want to do, just because you may not have the most appealing background. The C920 does have the green screen capability as long as you have good lighting. So we'll get into that in a second. So C920 and up, you can do green screen. Just to put that out there. So they do have the capability. You do have those off-brand ones too. I think Razer makes one and some other companies make one. I don't have any experience with them, but we could look into them and give you guys a little bit more of some information on those. If you do, please feel free to ask about them, because we could definitely take a look into them as well.
Like you were saying too, all the other brands, I'm not saying that the ones that we recommend are better than them. These are just ones that we've personally used, and honestly, we both kind of fell onto the Logitech ones and both liked them. So,
they're the most used.
So, yeah, exactly, and one of the best prices. So, as Shady mentioned, though, lighting, it's a huge deal. You can see a massive difference in just picture quality with and without a light. Just a good,
here you go.
any
Ready?
light, really.
No
There,
light.
that
Light.
proper lighting,
So-
no setting changes, as you just saw the difference there.
Yeah.
Do one more time here, Shade. So this is just a generic lamp light that he kind of has set up now. He'll turn it off, and there, like, that's
And
huge
back on.
difference. I mean, you know, you can experiment with ring lights. You can experiment with
Yep.
square lights. The one that I picked up is actually, I think it's kind of a knockoff one. It was like $25 a light. I have a spare one. This is one light, and I have white and yellow settings. I have like brightness adjustments, all this other stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's Elgato. There's a whole bunch of other great products out there. I like the Elgato stuff, but if you're just getting into stuff, we're saying there's some good ones out there. I'll even drop a link to the one that I picked up. I'm really happy with them. It was a pair of them for like $40, I think is all it was. And this is US.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that. I mean, made a massive difference. Like this is a DSLR camera, but without the proper lighting, a lot of that quality actually goes away. There's a lot of depth that's gone. It still looks okay because I have enough screen lighting, like just from my screen, but without that, it's gone.
Yeah.
So,
And mine actually mine's a ring light. And they make different
Okay, there you
sizes
go.
and stuff like that. So yeah. And most of the ring lights have the white, the pure white, the amber, and then the mixture between white and amber LEDs and stuff like that too. So I think mine was like $17. So
there you go.
it's
Like,
not bad at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not saying that you have to buy the brands that we buy, but the one
Yep.
that I'm using is an off-brand, nothing that I just picked up on Amazon. Like I say, it was $20 because it was a
Yeah,
pair for
exactly.
40 is how they sold them. So
Yep. So I think that's it for cams and lights, honestly.
yeah,
Unless
I
you
was
got
gonna
anything else on
say
that.
no. I was gonna say maybe we could kind of take a quick between because I think the next thing I want to talk about will be audio. But before we go
Yeah.
from there to the audio, I do want to say these are the big thing. A lot of people are liking them. Stream decks, any kind of a
Oh, yeah.
secondary way to control your stream
Mhm.
without having to use your mouse and keyboard. I actually ended up buying the Stream Deck XL eventually, and I say that because I didn't know how much I was going to use it. Have I heard they were great? I heard they were amazing right from day one. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I should get one. So I thought, maybe I'll just grab the little 6-button one. And and I thought, well, if I'm already going to buy one, I'll buy the 15-button one. I think 3x5 is that middle one. And I was like, I'll pick it up. So I picked it up and I fell in love with them. Like, I do recommend getting one. The big reason I really loved them was my scene changes. I'll tell you right now, you're live, you're sitting there playing a game, you're doing something. Okay, you're going to a main menu, and instead of alt tabbing, and potentially with some games, they don't like to be alt tabbed, you'll have an issue with it because it alt tabbed and then screen size changes. You can just reach over, hit just chatting, and then you're in a different scene. You can keep going. Oh, back in the game,
Yeah.
and you press a button real quick.
Yep.
Anything to throw on that one?
No, I have the Stream Deck Mini, the 6-button one, and works perfectly for me. You can create categories on it, and I mean, you could have hundreds of little buttons on it as long as you remember where you put everything on the
Right.
little Mini, then you're good. But yeah, the XL is great. Having 64, 32 buttons. I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot
It's,
of buttons on that thing. You could program your house with that thing, honestly.
I think it's 32.
Yeah, you could put so much on it, and it makes everything so much easier between muting your mic and switching scenes and silly sounds and every little thing that you could think of. It makes everything so much more easily integrated. And
You'll
get
find
some
out what
fancy
you
key
want.
lights-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll find out what you want to use it for as well. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You'll see what you're missing. You're like, oh man, I wish I had one more button for this because I know it can do that. So, and like you're just
Yeah.
bringing up the key lights. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you can control Elgato products with it. The key lights, you could. There's a lot of stuff that integrates with them too, especially as you grow. Regardless of what you're doing, you could integrate a bunch of different things with it. So lights and different cameras and camera zooms and different actions, and it's crazy. It's amazing, and there's different functionality coming out for it every single day. My dog has decided to join us on stream as well, or not on the stream, on the content creation side here. So if you see him in the background, he's just joining in. But they're amazing. So definitely worth the buy. Honestly, definitely worth it. Even if you start off with the little 6-button one.
I mean, I know on average you can usually see them. They go on sale quite often, so keep your eye on those. But
Yeah.
they're a great product. I just want to kind of throw those in between I
Yeah.
do want to say though, the camera is, in my opinion, it's always been kind of a priority. I want to say if I'm a streamer or if I'm watching a stream, I like to see one.
Hmm.
Not 100% necessary though, depending on what kind of content you're gonna make. You
Exactly.
don't need one as long as if you don't have a cam, at least have a good mic and have some good quality. So mics is one thing that I originally started, and I think Shady as well, with just your generic little, you know, mic
Well,
that's on your headsets, right?
yeah, I had a Logitech headset with a little flip down mic, and it
Exactly,
sounded
mine
like I
too. It
was in a
had,
trash can.
I probably could even find a video of one of my first couple, and they were okay. They're not
Yeah.
content creation high end quality, but they were okay.
Nope. Hmm.
Um, my first upgrade that I did though was I ended up getting, probably still to this day, one of my favorite quality mics that I've ever seen. It's a Samson G-Track Pro, a professional USB condenser. It's amazing. It was a USB plug and play, not 100%, no settings needed, but they have like a volume dial on the front, and I can actually just show you right here. They got the settings. This is just like the volume on up in the top. They got a couple other inputs, instrument, and then a main volume for the instrument one. There's a mute button right on it, so that if button and then you can't hear me.
What?
But exactly. So, but I mean, the quality of these are amazing. They're not $25 mics. They're about
Yeah.
140 right now, $160 US.
Hmm.
But they come with the stand and they're USB. You can't really go wrong with that. What have you been using, Shade?
Yeah, I'm using a Blue Yeti X Blackout Edition, or no, Blue Yeti Blackout Edition, not the Blue Yeti X. Sorry, that's the new one that just came out. That
Right,
looks
right.
amazing. But I'm using a Blue Yeti Blackout Edition, and I've had it for a little over a year or so. It's same thing with Bubs. It has the different. It's a condenser microphone, USB. So it has everything built into it. Different omnidirectional features and all this other crazy stuff with volume control and condenser control and gain and all of that stuff. But just like he had said, there's different things that you have to do to it to make it sound better. Just like any mic, it's a plug and play and it sounds great right out of the box. It comes with the stand and all of that, and mine's on a boom arm here, but mine has a stand and all of that too, which is great. So, it sounds 500 times better than a mic that you can get. That just my headphones come with a Blue Yeti mic as well. I just don't have it plugged in, but
Right.
So once you get into that level of quality, it makes things much better sounding. And audio is a big thing for a lot of viewers,
Yeah.
especially for voice audio, for voice
Especially if
quality.
you don't
So,
have a good cam, at least
yep.
push the money towards a mic so then people can hear what you're saying. Because a lot of people will
Oh, yeah.
watch a good player and they want to know what they're doing. It doesn't matter so much if you know what the guy looks like. If you do, you do, and if you don't, you don't. But if you're watching a
Some
guy
people
that's
are
top
scary.
tier,
Oof.
yeah, exactly.
No, just kidding.
If you're watching a top tier player and he's whatever, if you're watching a shooter and he's always number one and he's doing tournaments, you don't really care what his face looks like
You
when
don't
he's
care what it
playing.
looks like, yeah.
Yeah, you want to know what he's doing and what his thought process is. And if you say like, okay, I'm pretty sure that because of this, he's going to head around over here. I mean, listening sometimes is 10 times better.
Yeah.
So having good quality audio to me has always been better. So, and then I think that'd be kind of good for the main two. The Yeti is definitely a really good one. Samson G-Track Pro, kind of your next step. But then when it comes
And
down to it,
there's a bunch of other ones too, and we may have to make another episode to get more in depth with some of this stuff because we're pushing the brink here. But there's so many out there, and there's so many new ones that are coming out, and I think Elgato's coming out with one this year too that I don't know much about. It's kind of like a secret, so I don't know. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with the USB microphones, and you can go to XLR microphones, but for basic starting out, USB, hey, can't beat it for the dollar,
no, exactly.
So
for starting stuff, that's kind of the main two mid to higher end ones I would say is where you'd go. Anything
Yeah.
below that, I'm not saying that they're better, worse, or anything. I personally
Yeah.
haven't used them that much. Your headset one, I'd say stick with whatever headset you have until you can afford to get a separate one.
Yep.
And then when it comes to a headset though, what have you been using for headphones, Shade?
I I had a different Logitech headset. I'm actually using a Logitech Pro X gaming headset now. So,
Oh yeah.
a little bit of a higher end, we'll say, kind of mid to higher end. They're about $129, I think. But they have different tiers where you can get. I think they have some for about $89 as well. So,
Oh, for
pretty
sure.
good quality. So they're not bad at all.
Yeah,
I
and when
think
you get into those like $80 ones, the usually the biggest thing that takes a hit first is the mic, as we already
yeah.
said.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely does. So, and these, you get to the point where they come with the, I don't know where it is. Oh, right here, it's a detachable mic. So, it's in the box somewhere over there.
Yeah.
But it has a Blue Yeti detachable mic, just like this. It would be the same quality as this, pretty much, just in a detachable format. So,
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's
cool.
nice too. No, exactly. I mean, you can go and yours is a wired headset.
Yep.
And I honestly can say every wired Logitech headset that I've ever owned has been phenomenal. My
hmm
biggest peeve with them was going to be the boom, but that's not their fault. That's just the way those mics sound.
Yeah.
Personally, I've been using the SteelSeries Arctis 7. It's the wireless gaming headset. It's got surround. It's got, I think the longest I've had it on was 15 hours. I did that
Yeah,
12-hour
that's
stream.
forever.
Yeah, I did that 12-hour stream, and then after that, I just kind of sat back and watched a show, and I just left it on, and I realized that it was still on. When I took it off, the red light was flashing. But
So it's
I
getting down to
did.
the wire there.
I didn't know how much was left, but I did
Yeah,
get 15 or so hours out of it. So I was pretty happy
it's
with
pretty
that.
good.
That was a good test. I figured at least 8 would be sufficient.
Yeah.
But they're a nice wireless headset, and I'll tell you right now, I can walk through my house, I can go upstairs and down the hall, and I can still hear what's happening at my computer. So very, very good headset.
Hmm.
Not cheap again, another 150 to $200 depending. I mean, the models will change, of course, over time, but I mean that generation of them, very good
Yeah.
headset as well.
Yeah. And
Um,
there's a lot more hardware that we can cover, but like I said, we'll go into we may do another episode on specific stuff
yeah, like
for maybe
accessories or like
GPUs and
smaller accessories or
yeah,
specific pieces like that. For now, I kind of want to just get into those. Like I wanted to touch base and let you guys know what we
yeah,
use. Our main
yeah,
pieces are those. I mean,
yeah,
if there's any questions you guys have about these pieces or other pieces, or hey, send us a link even, and we can take a quick peek and help you guys decide what we would think of
definitely.
the product. Don't mind helping.
I mean, we may have used it in the past, so we could let you know firsthand. Hey, it's good.
Well,
It
I've
might
thrown a
break
lot of
if
money
you.
away buying a lot of stuff. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, same here. Just don't roll over some of the pieces that you
no,
buy. That's for sure, especially in
exactly.
your chair. So,
No,
but I think that's about it for this one. So,
definitely. No, I mean, once again, appreciate everyone coming in. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can ask it down below. You can ask us just in our Discord. Any link you're gonna need, you can find around here. But Shade, any last comments?
no, I think that's about it. Other than that, we will see you guys again in 2 weeks' time with another episode. We'll be on to episode 4 after that. So appreciate you guys, and don't forget to hit that button, subscribe, hit the little bell thingy, so that way you know we're back and you can watch the next episode. And till then, we'll see you.
Right on, guys. Take care. Remember, once again, that's Alpha Shade, and I'm Silver Bubs saying, if you have any questions, just ask. Have a good one, guys.
Bye bye.